With the NBA season right around the corner, you know that I love to show you guys my fantasy basketball teams this season. So that's what we are going to be doing today. I'm going to be drafting my squad. So I am here on Underdog, where I have been doing a ton of best ball drafts. And in my opinion, it's the best way to play fantasy basketball at times, especially if you don't have enough friends that can hop in and play with you. And what I love about it is the best ball feature. So sometimes, at least throughout the long seasons, I know it could happen in basketball or baseball throughout fantasy, that you may forget that you have some injured players, or you're not checking the waiver wire as much. And that is a fun part of it as well. I have a league where I do that myself with my friends on Sleeper, as I'm trying to get everybody to join that league. But yeah, for best ball, you basically draft your team and you don't have to check it throughout the year. Now you can, but you don't have to pick anybody up. You can't. There's no trade. So whatever you draft on draft night is what you have throughout the year. This is a $15 league. It's in their biggest pool, which I've been doing a ton of, like I said. Looks like I have the 3rd overall pick here, which is nice. I'm guaranteed Wemby, Jokic, Giannis, or Luka. It's kind of crazy how much Wemby is projected in fantasy and how high he is. It's because of the blocks and how insane he is there. So I'm fine with getting Wemby, Jokic, Giannis, or Luka. We'll see who the first 3 are off the board, and then we'll kind of go from there. I think you can get some really good bigs in fantasy, and that's where I usually target, because most fantasy leagues, you know, they give a lot of credit to rebounds and blocks and field goal percentage and that stuff. And that kind of tends to getting good big men. So if you can get 3 to 4 good big men on your team, which I think the max here is 4, you're going to go, in my opinion. It takes the best scoring guys week to week, it looks like, throughout this. So that's pretty much what best ball is. It takes the best guy in that position for your lineup. So you may draft like 6 guards. You only have to worry about the top 3, but the thing picks that. It's not like you have to set it, which makes it, I think, a great feature. So the first 2 picks were big man. It went Wemby and Jokic. So I'm looking at Giannis or Luka. Both of them don't really have too much injury concerns. I think Luka could kind of get banged up a little bit more than Giannis. But like I said, I want to go for my big man right here. I'm going to get Giannis, who's going to get me blocks. He's going to get me steals. He's going to get me assists now as well. And obviously, he could score 30 points and 11 rebounds a night. I'm going to take a little bit of a hit with the 3-point shot that you're going to get with Luka, Jokic, and Wemby. I have a couple leagues with Luka, but I'm really locked in on Giannis this year. And I think it's going to be a big, like, let's do this, nobody's talking about us in Milwaukee type season. I think Giannis is going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder. So yeah, I'm going to throw myself up in the top right corner so you can see my squad there in the bottom right. Guys that I'm targeting with my next pick, which is still about 14 picks away, so we have some time. I'm really big on Tyrese Maxey this year. I know that they have Paul George there in Philly, but I think he's going to be playing every night. You're not going to get that with Paul George and Embiid. So even on those back-to-backs, Maxey is going to be like the #1 scoring option. I'm trying to stay away from DeMar DeRozan. New environment there in Sacramento, so I'm a little afraid of him. I mean, I would love to get, let's see, like Alperen Sengun, I would look at. I think even Ja, I would look at as well. I don't mind going Chet Holmgren. Jaylen Brown is interesting because obviously there's just a couple mouths to feed there in Boston, but obviously he's been relatively healthy throughout most of his career. We'll see who kind of goes off the board. Like Scotty Barnes is going 1.10 now in these drafts. Anthony Edwards went 1.9. There's AD and Sabonis, because Sabonis is so good in fantasy. It's not a sexy name, but he gets rebounds, double-doubles, assists, triple-doubles, man. He does it all. Also, I know somebody probably wants to make fun of me for activating Windows. I know, I gotta get on that. I'm just too lazy with it. Someone's gonna call me broke in the comment section. So there goes Embiid. Like, great player, but are you gonna get 60+ games out of Embiid this year? I think that's a little scary as well. And if you guys want to let me know your fantasy teams, go to my Twitter in the description, just at me your fantasy team, and I'll just tell you what I think about it going into the season. So we're about 6 picks away. I don't mind going 2 bigs off the rip. Like, going Giannis and Chet isn't the worst thing in the world. I do like De'Aaron Fox a ton. I love Devin Booker in fantasy. Harden is somewhat appealing because Kawhi's already out. He's going to be the #1 option there. So I think you're going to get a ton of volume because you're going to get assists, like a bunch of them with Harden. I like Donovan Mitchell. I love LaMelo Ball, but it's just always scary with him if he could stay healthy. And I think I can get one of those guys with my 3rd round pick. Trae Young, I would love, but I'm up in 4 picks. 0% chance he's going to be there. So I think I'm going to try to target Chet Holmgren here because you're going to get threes, rebounds, blocks. Like, it's going to be amazing with him. There goes Siakam. Halliburton, too, is also such a good fantasy player. So, yeah, I'm looking at Booker. Trae, obviously, I would take. I don't know if I would go Sengun. I would maybe go Fox. There goes Trey. So I kind of hope that this person takes Alperu Şengün, so I don't have to. And yeah, he ends up going Şengün. So I do like the idea of De'Aaron Fox. I really like the idea of Chet Holmgren and just getting two. Well, wait, Giannis is considered a wing. That's what I also think makes it more valuable. That's on me for not noticing that before and saying that. But wings, I think, are not as deep as some of the bigs or guards, at least when you get later in the draft. So Giannis being a wing is insane value. So I'm going to go Chet Holmgren here. I'm going to get my top big man there. Oh, man, I love that so much that Giannis is considered a wing, which is kind of crazy. I feel like he should be considered a big, but he's not a center. Now, I'm up in 4 picks. There are plenty of guards here. I'm good with Fox, Booker. I mean, I don't really have a lot of exposure to James Harden, so I don't mind taking the chance. I would love Steph Curry, but you got to worry about, is he going to regress this year? Could he get hurt? There's obviously just the age things with Steph Curry. I would love Devin Booker in 3 picks. I mean, this guy already has a guard. He took De'Aaron Fox. Oh yeah, there goes Booker. And there goes Donovan Mitchell. Oh my God, the guards are going off the board. I mean, I could take LaMelo, which is kind of risky just because he gets hurt every year. So if he gets hurt, I'm kind of screwed. So, I mean, I could double up on the Bucks, which I shouldn't do, but Damian Lillard is there. If I didn't have Giannis, I think I would go Dame. There's Bam, so I could take another elite big man if I wanted to, but then I think my guards get kind of thin. I mean, Harden in fantasy might be really good this year. I could go Steph. I could go Maxey, who I said I like a ton. You know what? I'm going to... do I take Maxey over Curry? That just seems kind of crazy. I got 10 seconds to figure this out. But I do think that Maxey is going to play a ton, which I like a lot. So, you know what? I am going to go Tyrese Maxey here over James Harden. Harden and Curry just a little bit older, where there could be some injury concerns. And like I said, Embiid isn't playing back-to-back. So I know there's going to be at least 15 games where Maxey's going to operate as the number 1. I'm sure Embiid is going to miss a little bit of time just for precautionary stuff for the Sixers. So I think I'm going to get plenty of games with Maxey as a number 1. So yeah, I like my team so far, just the first 3 picks being Maxey, Giannis, and Chet. I think we're off to a good start right here. So I don't pick for another 16 picks. I think I'm not really still targeting a guard, a wing, or a big. I could be looking at Brandon Miller. I mean, that's kind of a little bit down. I mean, I think Zion's going to be so good this year. Cade Cunningham, I would love. He's not going to be there. Kyrie, a little bit indifferent. I would love J-Dub, but just getting another Thunder, I think, is a little bit risky. The Mikal Bridges shot in the preseason is kind of scary. I wouldn't mind Franz. I think I would take a chance on Franz if he is there. I would love Ari Markkinen, but he's not going to be there either. And I'm up in 14 picks, so I could just say that I'm going to be partnering with Underdog all season long, where you guys can do drafts. You could just do $1 drafts, $2 drafts, $3 drafts on the Underdog Fantasy app, which the link to that is going to be in the description. You could do their pick'em feature as well. And when you use my code SROS, S-R-O-S, you get a 50% deposit match up to $1,000. So if you put in $2,000, for example, you'd get $1,000 in bonus play. If you put in $100, you get $50. So no-brainer, use my code SROS, S-R-O-S. Link is in the description if you want to play fantasy basketball throughout the season long with their pick'em feature, which is basically picking higher or lower specific statistics, or do fantasy drafts like I'm doing, because I love this, man. I just love playing fantasy here. And I think for fantasy basketball, sometimes you can't get a bunch of people to fully commit to it, but the money's already locked in, right? So you know, if you're checking it every day, or if you're drafting the best ball teams, you can win some legitimate money because you're paying up front. So it's a little bit better if you're like, oh, am I going to get my money at the end of the year? And you never really know with your friends, or you're just asking like a friend's cousin, or just like somebody in general that you don't really trust. All right, so I'm up in 5 picks. I don't really have to target a specific position right here. Oh, Gobert could also, Gobert is kind of a cheat code in fantasy because he gets so many blocks, the rebounds. I would like Gobert, but I think I'd like Gobert with my second pick come up here. Like at 5.3, I think I'm going to target Gobert. Plenty of wings here. You know what? Jimmy Butler is scary because he doesn't play every night, and it's kind of been like that for the last couple of years, but I just feel like we're going to get an amped up Jimmy Butler this year. He didn't make the playoffs, he didn't make the All-Star team last year. So I think I'd rather have Jimmy Butler than like Mikal or Miles Bridges. It's really just a games played thing. I think Brandon Miller is going to be phenomenal this year. I'm staying away from Brandon Ingram. I don't know what team he's going to be on. Too many wings in New Orleans as well. Staying away from Kawhi Leonard. I know when he's healthy, he's one of the best players in the league, but when is he healthy? Right? He was healthy last year, but he's already banged up this year. I'm not touching him. So there went Franz, DeJounte, Mikal, and Jared Allen. I like Evan Mobley a ton. I do. Wow, Evan Mobley is still here because he's going to get blocks, rebounds. He's going to score inside. And I think they're going to, give him the ball a ton this year. I think we could see a breakout year for Evan Mobley. So I think that's great value. And now I have Chet and Mobley as my bigs, which is, I think, a great place to be right now. I would love Jimmy Butler or Brandon Miller at 5.3. I'm a little bit scared about Kuminga. And like I said, the wings get kind of thin. Like, yeah, Michael Porter Jr., Jabari Smith Jr., Denny of DI. I'm not really loving those options. So I really want to get Brandon Miller or Jimmy Butler. There goes Miles Bridges. This guy might be a Hornets fan. LaMelo and Miles right there. So I'm praying that I could take Jimmy. J-Dub is a guard, but I already have Chet Holmgren, so I don't really want to double up right there. So I'm really hoping I can get Brandon Miller or Jimmy Butler. And there goes Jimmy Butler, so unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to get him. I really want Brandon Miller here. Kyle Kuzma, I don't hate either, just because he's still going to be the #1 scoring option in Washington. I know I didn't mention him. Could he get traded? Yeah, and then that could hurt his value throughout the year. So this guy is going to get Jalen Williams. Don't take Brandon Miller. Make my life easy. I don't love going Kuzma here. And of course, he goes Brandon Miller. That's just how fantasy goes, man. The guys you want always go the pick before you. And I'm really big on Emmanuel Quigley this year, or even Jalen Green. I like a ton, but there's plenty of guard depth that I think I can get later on. So yeah, I'm going to go Kyle Kuzma here. It's not a sexy pick, but I think he's going to put up numbers in Washington this year. I already have Giannis as my top wing right there, so I could have a little bit of a drop off there, but I don't know. My team so far, I'm indifferent how I feel. I'm really banking a lot on Maxey being potentially an All-NBA guy this year, and fantasy too. That's going to translate to him being a great fantasy guard because he's a great three-point shooter. He can get to the line. Evan Mobley and Chet Holmgren are definitely a couple wild cards in the front court. Hartenstein's already out, so Chet's going to have the full-time big man minutes still. But could that affect his rebounds when Hartenstein comes back? For sure. Evan Mobley's always going to have Jared Allen there to go up with the rebounds, but I do think this is going to be a big breakout year for Evan Mobley, so hopefully I'm getting good value there. All right, so I'm up in 8 picks right now. I think I'm going to try to get another guard, and I think there's just better guard options down here. Jabari Smith Jr., man, I like a lot, but there's just a lot of mouths to feed there in Houston. I do like Derek White because he's someone that's going to go out there. He's going to play a ton. He's going to get steals, 3-pointers. He's a great guy for blocks as well from a guard. So I'm really targeting Kobe White, Derek White, one of the Whites there. I like Darius Garland a ton. Man, I love Darius Garland, but I have Evan Mobley. So that kind of goes into that a little bit. I think Levine could be great value as well. There goes Jamal Murray, who, wow, this guy has elite guards. He's got Ant, Ja, Curry, and Murray. He's going the no big lineup, but Paul George and Kawhi Leonard at your wings. That could be a little bit scary with games played. I don't really know how I feel about that. Brunson, Green. I'm just kind of looking at everybody else's teams right now. This one's fun name value-wise, like Dame, LeBron, KD, and Zion. So I'm really going to hope, man, I feel like my team, I don't know if I like this draft, honestly. This one is I don't know how I feel about it. But yeah, I'm going to try to get Derek White here with my next pick. I'm really crossing my fingers, but with my luck, he's going to go right before me. Oh my God, man. 2 picks before me. It always happens. And I love Kobe White, but it hurts a little bit with just all those mouths to feed there in Chicago this year. But I still think he's going to be really good. He's still going to be one of the top scoring options. But will he? Well, no more DeRozan. Levine's going to be healthy. I like Garland a little bit more. I love RJ Barrett, but he's already injured to start off the year. So I'm going to go Kobe White here. We get Maxey and we get Kobe White. Both guys were fighting for most improved last year. I don't love it. I don't hate it, though. We'll see who I'm going to go with my next pick. I think it's just going to be best player available. I wouldn't mind getting Miles Turner, Nick Claxton. Even I would go Darius Garland, but I'm not going to get my hopes up there. All right, so I am up. I could get a third good big man right here. I could go, I'm not going to go Zach LaVine since I do have Kobe White. I do like Tyler Hero a ton. I think just Miami being healthy again, I think is going to be great. I'm going to get a third good, I don't know, Nick Claxton may have a great opportunity in Brooklyn this year. So I'm actually going to get Nick Claxton as my third big man, which gives me some insurance for Evan Mobley. But Nick Claxton should be one of the top scoring options there. It'll be like Cam Thomas, and then you have Cam Johnson, and then it may be Nick Claxton. He's going to get rebounds. He's going to get blocks. He's going to get a ton of runtime there in Brooklyn. So I think I'm kind of chilling on my bigs. I think I can get one more. So I'm kind of looking at maybe Jaime Jaquez with my next pick. I like Chris Middleton, but will he be healthy? Anthony Simons could be someone as well. I love Colin Sexton, Brandon Bojemski, some of the guys I'm kind of looking at. Man, I love Trey Murphy as well. It's just so many mouths to feed there in New Orleans. I would not mind getting Zachary Reese-Shea at one point, DiVincenzo, Herb Jones. Definitely a ton of talent still on the board. So I am up in 7 picks. I'm looking at Josh Hart can also do a bunch of things as well because he's such a good rebounder for a guard. The preseason has been a little weird for him. He has 0 points throughout most of these games, and it's kind of been talked about that he could go for the second unit. But at the down at the stretch last year, if you took Josh Hart late in the draft, he was getting triple doubles on some nights or getting close to it almost every night. So there's going to be a lot of value in Josh Hart, especially if there's a minor injury to a Mikal Bridges or an Anunoby or Cap. Ton of run time for Josh Hart, who plays a ton as well. You don't have to really worry about being injured. I do like John Collins. I don't know why he's listed as a wing, but that could be a solid wing for me, honestly, because he's going to get, I think, the touches there in Utah. Damn, Brandon Podziemski is projected a decent amount, but he's someone that can do a little bit of everything also. He's going to be a good three-point shooter. I might go Tyler Hero here. I just might get Hero. I think he could still average 20 points per game. He's still going to be the number 2 scoring option, points per game-wise, after Jimmy Butler. I think he's going to average more than Bam Adebayo. I don't think Terry Rozier will hurt him too much. Well, it doesn't matter because he just went. Because of course he did. So there is CJ McCollum here. I don't know, man. He could get moved to the bench. I kind of like the idea of just getting Josh Hart because he could be a Swiss Army knife. And he can get a ton of rebounds. He's going to get some steals. He can hit some threes. He's not going to really do a ton offensively scoring-wise, but that's what I have Giannis and Kobe and Maxey for. I am definitely going to worry about my points per game at the end of this for sure. But I think in rebounds, steals, threes, like we should be good in everything else. Points per game total, I feel like I'm going to have kind of inferior to in that category to everybody else. So maybe I'm going to try to go for like a high scoring guy next. Maybe it's an Anthony Simons. Maybe that's why I just take John Collins. Maybe Colin Sexton. He could average 20 this year in Utah. I mean, Bradley Beal is still going to be the number 3 scoring option in Phoenix. I think he could average 20 a night. If you're high on Jaden Ivey, he's there. Still a lot of good talent on the board, like Walker Kessler, pretty late. Derek Lively down there is kind of nice. I mean, Hartenstein's already banged up. So there goes Middleton, McCollum, Jaime Jaquez. So I'm going to go an offensive-minded guy. There goes PJ Washington. So it's either do I like Anthony Simons or Colin Sexton. I think Colin Sexton's just going to be a little bit more efficient, and I think he could average more points per game than Simons. Now that Portland added a bunch of guys this offseason, either Denny or the draft, or now year 2, year 3 jumps throughout other guys. So I think Sexton is going to have more of a scoring opportunity than Anthony Simons. So I'm probably good with my guards right now. I got to add, I think, another wing and a big. All right, so I'm up in 5 picks. I think I'm going to look at a wing as well. Jeremy Shohan can do a little bit of everything. I mean, I don't mind Herb Jones. Like I said, I should probably go for some scoring. Cam Johnson could get a lot of run in Brooklyn this year. Afraid he could get traded, could hurt his value a little bit. There's Wiggins. Do I think he's going to have a bounce back year in Golden State? They may rely on him a ton. Like Trey Jackson-Davis, for some reason, is a big man. or it was listed as a wings, which I don't really get, but I may look at him here as well. And I'm up in 1 pick. Valanciunas just went. Jakob Poeltl just went. That's why I'm just glad I got my bigs, because I'm really not that excited about Valanciunas this year. There goes Jeremy Sohan. I think I'm actually going to go Herb Jones here. In New Orleans. He's going to be super valuable for them. He could be playing the center position. I think that's what's been rumored as well. So I think he's actually going to average a career high in rebounds. He showed that he was a really good three-point shooter last year. He's going to get you steals. He's going to get you blocks as well. I may look at Isaiah Hartenstein just to get me some insurance to Chet Holmgren, and it's kind of riding the hot hand. I mean, Clint Capella is going to put up some numbers. Oh, there goes Derek Lively and Hartenstein. In Atlanta, could this be the year he gets bought out or traded and they go with a Kungwu? That is a possibility. I would have liked Lively a ton, honestly. Just, I think that's good value here as well. There's Jalen Suggs. Bobby Portis is listed as a big. I mean, Milwaukee's going to need him for sure. I think I may just go Clint Capella, snag up my 4th big man. Like, there's plenty of wings on the board that I think I view in a similar tier to themselves. Yeah, there goes, yeah, can I draft Clint Capella, get my 4th big man? Yeah, so I'm going to get Clint Capella. I think he's going to put up numbers early in the year, but hopefully by the end of the year, I don't really need him because I have Chet, Mobley, and Claxton. All right, so I'm up in 5 picks. I don't think I can take any more big men, so we're just going to take pretty much the best wing or guard available. I think Dennis Schroeder could be good value here just because he's going to play a ton in Brooklyn. He's going to be their point guard throughout the whole year. I mean, I think getting Daniel Gafford this late, I can't take a big, I think, but I think that is so much better value with his ADP compared to Derek Lively, because I believe Gafford is going to start over Lively this season. So yeah, long term, if you're doing a dynasty league, you definitely want Derek Lively over Gafford, but this year alone, I'm definitely taking Gafford over him, but I don't think I can take another big man, unfortunately. So I'm going to probably just take a look at Dennis Schroeder here. I don't mind Patrick Williams as well. I do have Kobe White. I don't know if I want to invest a ton into the powerhouse known as the Chicago Bulls offense for sure. There goes Russ. Drummond is great in fantasy. Like, if Embiid gets hurt, Drummond becomes a top tier center because of the rebounds he can put up. So I think I'm going to go Dennis Schroeder here. I don't know though. I already have Nick Claxton. I mean, Tyus Jones could get some volume and assist in Phoenix. So let's go Tyus Jones here. I actually like that a ton. Like, Ben Simmons can stuff the stat sheet because he can do a little bit of everything besides shoot, but is he going to be healthy? Probably not. I like Draymond. Oh, he's listed as a big, not a wing, because I would have taken Draymond. All right, back on the clock now. I think I'm going to look at a wing. I like Rui Hachimura. I don't think I like Taylor Hendricks enough to take him here, but do I like anybody else over him? I mean, DeAndre Hunter probably will get some run time in Atlanta, so I kind of like just his opportunities a little bit more than some of these other guys. Hendricks, it's kind of crowded there. Lakers, you never know with Rui. Will he be on the team? Could he have the same value if he gets traded? Clowney, a lot of question marks with him. Patwell, like I said, I didn't really want another bull right now. I like Dalton to connect a ton, but might be too high. I think I'm going to look at Andrew Nembhard maybe with my next pick. I got 2 more picks remaining as well. All right, up in 5 picks. I don't know if I'm allowed to take another guard, but if so, I would probably take Marcus Smart here or Andrew Nembhard. Especially Kyle Anderson is projected as much as he really is. Ron Holland, I don't know about the shot. Mike Conley, Terrence Mann might actually have a much larger role than we think in Los Angeles. I feel like Wendell Carter Jr. this late is pretty good as well. So maybe I took Clint Capella, I think, early. I definitely regret taking him as high as I did. All right, so I am up next. I'm going to see if I can take Marcus Smart. I believe I can take another guard. Yeah, I definitely can because they have 6 guards right there. So he takes Terrence Mann. I actually like that pick for that late there. So I'm going to take Marcus Smart. I believe I have 2 more picks remaining. All right, so I'm really hoping Andrew Nembhard falls. I might take a flyer on Reed Shepherd as well. So at least one of those 2 guards I'm going to end up going with my next pick here. Yeah, I'm going to have a ton of guards on this team. I think I may need to take another wing as well, which will probably be my final pick. I don't even know what wing I like down here, honestly. Delano Banton, Gijon George, Jalen Wilson. It gets so gross. Yeah, I'd probably take like Simone Fontecchio over some of those guys that I talked about that were ranked a little bit higher. There goes Jonathan Isaac. And then as long as Andrew Nembhard doesn't go here, as it was Nick Richards, yeah, we are going to be able to land Andrew Nembhard pretty late. I actually like that value a ton for Nembhard, but obviously there's a lot of mouths to feed in Indiana, so we'll see if he's going to be worth it. But yeah, if he could just end up outplaying his ADP, I'm cool with it. And with the last pick, I'm going to target Corey Kispert or Nikola Jovic. I'm hoping one of those 2 guys are there, but these guys could end up taking a wing because I'm not up for another 5 picks. So say both those guys are off the board, I get kind of unlucky. There definitely is a drop-off for some of the talent here. I like Tumani Kamara, but is he going to get enough minutes there in Portland this season? I may just take the upside of Jarris Walker. Or, no, I'll probably go Simone Fontecchio. So I'm really hoping I can take Nikola Jovic or Corey Kispert. Probably Corey Kispert is the guy I really want. All right, so Nikola Jovic just went. I'm hoping this guy doesn't take a wing. I'm not sure if it's going to auto-take Corey Kispert. Come on, give me some luck. Give me some luck. Do not take Corey Kispert. Let's go. He takes Caleb Martin. All right. I definitely want to get Corey Kispert there. And that is going to wrap out my team. And here is my team. Tyrese Maxey, Kobe White, Josh Hart, Sexton, Jones, Smart, and Nembhard. As my guards, wings, Giannis, Kuzma, Herb, Hunter, Kispert. And my bigs, you have Chet, Mobley, Claxton, and Capella. Looking back on the draft, I'm glad I got obviously the 3rd overall pick. I'm fine with Giannis. I am fine with Chet. Maxey, I'm cool with as well. I wonder if Evan Mobley was the right decision to go in the 4th round. Kuzma in the 5th round. I know it's not a sexy name, but I do think he's going to get some really good fantasy numbers. But maybe I could have gone with a different wing there at 46. And then I could have gone Gobert at 53, White, Claxton, Josh Hart. Yeah, I don't feel super confident about this team, actually. But that is nice that I'm showing you guys a team that maybe I'm not super confident about. And it's going to be cool to see how it plays out throughout the 2025 NBA season. So that is going to be for me. I hope you guys did enjoy my fantasy draft video. If you did, I would appreciate it if you drop a thumbs up. Let me know in the comments what you guys thought. And you can use my code SROS on Underdog this year all season long. And I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace.